Hi guys, my name is Pip and I'm the author of the Phoenix series. The Hunted is the first book in the Phoenix series and A Night Rises is the second book in the Phoenix series. And they're actually on sale in ebook format and you can get them cheaper through Apple Books because Amazon always whacks on their own markup, and I think the book depository is also cheap, but Apple Books is definitely the cheapest option because they let the author set the price as what the author wants to set the price as. So just an FYI. I had hoped to have finished book 3 and be prepping to publish by this stage in 2020 because when I published A Night Rises earlier this year, I had actually already finished the draft of book 3. And I just needed to start the editing process. But I think we're all aware that 2020 has sucked and that it has basically been like one long, really full moon where everybody has bruised feelings and everybody's in an emotionally volatile state, and anything that is insane and seemingly unreal is happening, and this is just the world we're living in. Like, day to day stuff is horrendous. And to be honest, in the moments where I feel like I've been in the eye of the storm and things have been a little bit calmer for brief moments, I haven't really felt a lot like sitting down and writing. I've felt more like doing things that bring me joy, or at the very least a reprieve. Not that writing doesn't, but I feel like I've been thinking a lot about what I'm writing about. And yes, it's a young adult fantasy fiction and, you know, there's mostly themes of magic and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the themes that I'm exploring in the books are things like grief and getting to know yourself, and they're heavy topics. And to be honest, when there have been those slightly calmer moments this year when it feels like you're in the eye of the storm, I haven't done a lot of writing because a lot of the themes I'm exploring in the books, yes, they're young adult fantasy fiction, there's a lot of magic and things like that, and there's a whole fantasy world, but like some of the concepts and themes that I'm exploring are things like grief and death and the concept of an afterlife and exploring who you are as a person. And I guess I feel like I'm in the eye of the storm and I can feel it coming for me again. So I've been trying to spend a lot of those calmer moments doing things that have no attachment to work, that bring me joy. Work has been extremely challenging and borderline soul crushing. I do feel like I'm just being hit with a stick repeatedly, and like everything that I've worked for and sacrificed for over the last 6 years has kind of just been burnt by the last 6 months, which is really challenging. And I'm finding it particularly challenging because I work in healthcare. We're deemed an essential service, so we don't get a choice whether we're involved in this, whether we work from home. I mean, you can try and work from home, but it doesn't really work to the same level. And, you know, obviously that means that we have to wear surgical masks and things like that all the time to protect ourselves and our clients, and I'm allergic to them. And so I've been having really bad contact dermatitis all over my face, and particularly around my lips, which has been really painful. And today is the last day of steroid cream, which is why I'm filming today, because it's about as good as it's ever going to get again until this is all over. But I mean, this year has really just, well, the past 12 months has been a challenge because we had the fires first and now this. And so finding a place where I feel in the mood to explore these themes of death and the afterlife and grief and how that affects someone and trauma and things like that, while also trying to find a way to explore the beautiful intricacies of life and the fantasy of magic and all the things that you could do with magic if you have access to it. It just hasn't happened because, I mean, like I said, I already had the first draft written, so a lot of what I've got to do at this point is editing. So and I do find editing feels a little bit more like work because you're trying to pick holes in the storyline, trying to find problems, and I just feel like life is a problem, so I don't want to look for more problems. So I have actually done a little bit of writing on book 4, and done some scenes for 5 and 6, or at least outlined them, just because I felt more like writing than anything else. Or when I have felt like writing, I've been, trapped at work or wherever, and you can't, and then you go home and you're exhausted. So that's kind of where I am on a writing vlog, in terms of no progress has been made. And I'm not near publishing the 3rd book because I'm only just editing it now. So I'm sorry, but that's life, and life kind of sucks. So sorry. The other thing I have done quite a bit of in terms of writing is writing poetry. So I've been reading a lot of poetry if you watch my reading vlog. But I have been writing a fair bit of poetry. I always do, but I've been writing a lot more lately. I guess it's just been kind of a way to process what I've been going through, and I do go down to Jervis Bay a lot, and that's where I do a lot of processing. So I find I do a lot of thinking when I'm down there, about everything, both currently and past traumas and things like that, and just trying to work out how they affect me and why they affect me and what I want to do about that going forward. And then you kind of like are in this space mentally, and then I just find I end up writing poetry as kind of a way of expressing and my frustration and pain and things like that, and just kind of, it's my way of processing. So I have been writing a lot of poetry, but not so much Phoenix series. Also because I feel like when I start writing for the Phoenix series, I want to write like a chunk, and you get in a run and you get a flow going and you want to sit with it, and I just haven't had time to sit with it for hours on end and just get in the flow. So I mean, it's just a little bit complicated right now, basically. Because basically I'm just in a place where I'm trying to work out what is going to make me happier and what is going to be a healthier option for me going forward. And that involves significant challenges, because I can't really talk about why. So maybe in the future. But basically, yeah, I'm trying to find a way to be in a better place than where I have been in recent times. So that has kind of been more the priority, trying to get out of the place that I'm in rather than writing. So yeah, it's just where things are going at the moment. If you'd like to know more about the Phoenix series, or specifically The Hunted or A Night Rises, you can find other videos on this channel about these books, and I hope that you will check it out. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.